recommend purchasing a pack of Rex lace, the original. And with Rex lace, it's going to have the best quality string for you. So, usually it comes in a pack of about 6 colors. You can get the primary pack, and just showing you some of the colors and what they look like. I bought orange. Some of these colors you have to buy separately, but some of them come in a pack. For this craft, I think I'm going to use just this is my favorite one, this clear glitter. I recommend it. I'm going to use my orange, my green, and white. So for this one, these are going to be my colors. It's going to be a FAMU inspired boondoggle. You're also going to need a key ring and a lobster claw. Just one. I'm going to use orange as my base because I have so much orange. I'm going to do 2 rows of orange. So now I'm cutting the string. A good way to do this is to take the spool and grab one end in one hand, the spool in the other hand, and just stretch your arms out as far as they can go. Then you cut. And if you want it really big, you do it twice. In this design, I'm gonna have 4 orange strings since I have so much orange string. 2 are gonna be really long, and then the other 2 are gonna be shorter. And I'm gonna do 2 green. This is gonna be a pretty big one. And it's important to give yourself enough string because you can always cut it down if you've made too much, but you can't grow string if you never cut enough. So sometimes your keychains end up a little shorter than you like because you didn't cut out enough string. All right, so now I'm going on to the white. I always cut my strings and I just drop them in my lap. Drop them in my lap. You're probably like, why is she making a video on cutting strings? Because you don't want to waste your string. Sometimes that's part of the reason, why people don't start is because, well, I don't even know how much string to use. Where's the end of this? Hold on. I found it. It got tucked in there. But yeah, you don't want to waste your string. So you have to have a measuring system. If you want to use measuring tape, by all means, but I never do. All right, and I think I'm gonna I always love to use this. I just love factoring in this glitter somewhere. I don't know where I'm gonna put it in. Maybe I'll just do one next to the orange in the middle. We'll see. But I love glitter, clear glitter. It's one of my very first, you can see, it's one of my very first strings I ever bought, so near and dear to my heart. All right, so strings are cut. Now let's start off the keychain. Got cut off there. TikTok, give me time, TikTok. I want to show my friends how to do this. All right, move that there. I feel like I lost a string. Oh, I sure did lose a string. All right, and that's okay. When you lose a string, you just go back and get it. All right. This is the string I lost right here. This green one. That happens sometimes when you do 2 of the same color next to each other. you lose the one of the strings. You had to go back and find like, why didn't that close up? Oh, I know. Because that string went missing. All right, almost done. And you may be wondering, like, where does the key ring part come in? I'm about to show you that part next. So now I'm about to pull this last piece through. All right. This is the most satisfying part of the whole entire part. You guys ready? Once you have done your second thread or layer, yeah, second layer weave, you can pull it like that, and you don't have to worry about it like curling up into a little anything, because it now has enough structure to withhold the pulling. So see, now it has enough structure there. Okay, so what I like to do is make sure that it's evenly make sure that's evenly pulled. It looks even all the way around. Now look on the sides. Is that looking good? Yep, looking good. Yep. And then I like to do one more layer before I add the key ring, because the way I do these. All right, so you've got this part. You want to measure each string so you're not wasting any string at the end. So take, and it looks like this on the back, FYI. Okay. All right, it's important to hold it, like pinch it as you're doing this. So I'm going to make sure that the lengths are the same all the way around. All right. Taking the first string, and I'm just going to the ends to see, do the ends match? Yep. They lined up perfectly. No need to change that one. Next string. Do they line up perfectly? And if they don't, I'll just adjust it a little. Yep. They line up good. Okay, so the oranges line up good. Let's go to the whites. Okay. Yep. Hey, I'm doing pretty good. Whites lined up. First set of whites lined up. Let's see if the second set of whites lined up. Okay. I could make it a little longer on this side. So this one is the shorter one. So what I'm gonna do is just weave the other side through a little bit more, just a little bit more. Not too much more, because it wasn't that big of a difference. And then I'm just gonna make sure some of it makes its way to the other end. Not too much. Let's try it again. Yep. Now it's perfect. Next is the clear glitter. Good enough. And this is another thing that, comes up in making these is perfectionism. Where are my perfectionistic girlies at? It's kind of hard to not want to make everything perfectly even on some of these, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Hey guys, guess what? You're gonna be so jealous. But sometimes if I need to scratch that perfectionist itch, I will make sure these things are so perfectly even. It's like it's it's nobody's business. Ooh, this one's really off. So that's a good example. So this long side, I'm going to weave through. I think I got excited at the end there, and I wanted to hurry up and finish. I'm sorry if you guys can't really see this, but pretty much I'm evening up any sides that are uneven. Okay, so now that's great. Okay, cooking, we're cooking. Let me show you how I tighten it. Now, to carefully tighten it, you pull all the horizontal ones first. You hold them together tightly. That's how you tighten it. You don't do one at a time because you will lose the plot. Tighten them together like that. But for the horizontal, or the long side, you do those separately. You only do the ones that stick out the most. So like this is sticking out. So I'm gonna pull that. And like I said, you do have to pinch, because if you just yank this, it's gonna turn into like a little ball. Like, you guys remember those little worm ball things that ball up? Those little bugs? That's what it looks like if you just yank it real tight. You have to gently pull. So as I'm pressing it, I'm pinching it. Any part that kind of sticks out, I'm gonna pull it gently. But I'm pinching it to make sure it keeps its shape. Okay, this is looking pretty good. And I'm tightening it to where you don't see any gaps. Like, you're trying to not see any gaps. Okay, but you don't want any parts to feel over pulled. This is looking about right. All right, so I love to do the twisty ones, but since this is a FAMU one, I kind of want to just showcase the colors. So I don't know if I want to do it to twist or if I just want to do a block. I'm not sure. Do I want to just do a block or a twist? I think I'm gonna do my signature twist. I just can't help a twist, okay? So the way you do a twist. All right, it's tightened down. It's tightened. Let's go on to the next part. So the way you do a twist is, as you cross these over, instead of going straight over, you just go to the side. You go diagonal. So I'm not gonna go straight over like that. I'm gonna go over here. So I'm gonna go over here. You put your thumb in the middle, and then you bring this over, and then you bring that over, and then you bring that over. It's just like when you started it off. Okay, oops, and you gotta hold it down. And so you're gonna do the same thing on the sides, okay? You have to remember that you have these loops here, and the loops are the sides that are gonna lock the other string in. So this string here on the end, I'm gonna go first and lock it through those two loops. Okay, cross it down there. This one here, picking up, and I'm gonna go over, under that. Over, under that. Okay. And I'm gonna do the same thing over here. Same thing. Okay. like to pull these loops out to make it easier to get through. Just throw it through. Throw it through. Next one. So you see how it's making its way through? It's a weaving pattern. Another thing I do is pull these up to kind of like push the other ones out the way. Because once you got them gone, and these I can pull over here because it creates the weave when you just move those over like that. You can put them back down, and then you can pull this one through. These scissors are getting in the way. Move those. Let through. Lift it up. Pull it over. I think I'm definitely going to give you guys some more content that hopefully better illustrates this so you can get it. Please don't be too mad. I've been doing this for years and I never attempted to do a tutorial. All right, but I would love to show people how to do this because, as I said, all right, so now I'm about to tighten it. So first things first, I have my two. I want to make sure I hold down the middle loop at the bottom. I have two strings. My orange is my base, so remember, the orange gets pulled a little, and then the others, I hold them together and I pull very slowly. You have to pull it so slow because what's happening is you have to shape it as you're pulling it. And you have to make sure that all the strings are measured just right. All right, so it's starting to look like this. Okay, and let's see. All right, so what I do is I hold it. Once it's got some sort of a shape to it, like that, I hold it and then I measure the strings. So let me turn the camera around. So we're at the midpoint of the two, these are two separate strings, the two longest strings that I've cut. We're at the midpoint here, and you're gonna pretend like you are doing the keychain. So you're gonna hold this, you gotta pinch like your life depends on it, and you're gonna wrap these two down and weave them between these two. And you're gonna use another finger. Okay. And we're gonna pull these over. Okay. So I am just basically pretending like I have a keychain intact here, right? I'm pretending like I have a keychain intact. So I'm gonna take a color, I'm gonna take white. Now white is gonna help us stand out. You're gonna weave it through. And I kind of tuck it underneath here, between my pincher. And I'm going to pull it through until I can hold the two ends with my other hand. So my other hand has pulled the two ends together. So now I know where the midpoint is. See it there? I'm gonna hold on to that midpoint. And I'm gonna tuck that midpoint between my fingers. And I'm gonna do my first weave here. Okay, so the trick about doing the weave is you want to lock it in. So I'm gonna go here because this one it lays over. You got your free, and then you got your arcs. I don't know how else to call these. I'm gonna loop it and lock it in. I'm gonna weave it in. Weave it in. And I'm going over, under, over. Under. Sorry if I'm out of frame. It's hard to shoot this and show it at the same time. I think that's probably why there's so few videos showing how to do this. I may have to do several of these to really show how this works. Okay, so I've taken the other side. You have to straighten them out. Now you can see the makings. Now if I wanted to, I could just stop right there, but I'm not gonna. Okay, so I'm gonna go over. That's my first color. That's the white. All right, so I'm gonna tuck that down there. I want to do another string of white right here because when you block them, the two colors together, it creates a nice full color swath in the design. All right, so we're gonna go over here, and I just go right next to the first set, right next to it, and I'm trying to find the midpoint again. This looks so messy. I apologize. I'm gonna get better. And like I said, this is my very first time trying to make a video about how to do this. All right, so the next set is looped in. So now, once again, I'm gonna try and hold it with my pinky. With my pointer, and I'm gonna loop this one in. All right. Over, under, over, under. Okay. I did this one backwards. It's gonna look very messy as you're trying to weave this in. Okay, so now the second string is in. It looks so messy. It kind of looks like coleslaw. All right, so that's that. I need to pull these strings out to give me a little bit more room to weave. But yeah, I've got two colors in. Doesn't look like much, but oh, you just wait. Now I'm gonna go in with my clear. Okay, once again, clear. It's gonna go next to the white. Okay, clear. All right, got the midpoint there. That's the midpoint. Sliding that baby down, pinching him in there. And now I am going to weave this one in as well. A nice little trick is just to lift these two up, slide it under since it weaves it naturally. And then you go down, pick these two loops, because you got the straights and the loops. I guess that's what I should call it. And then now these can just go right in there, those two loops. Boom. Now I got my silver. Sorry, the glitter. Glitter is weaved in. So I don't know if you can see the pattern forming. I don't know if it looks like anything. All right, patience is a virtue. And as you're doing this, like the midpoints may kind of slide over a bit. So you end up kind of having to, I dropped the string. I end up having to kind of even them out again before I tighten them. All right, I'm going in with green now. Going in with green. Gonna pinch that green down. Like I said, you have this trick where you can just lift these two up, slide that bad boy over, weave these two oranges back down, move the green through the loops, pull it through, toss it over there. One green is in. I got one more green to go. You know, I did have these other oranges. I think I'm gonna save those for another keychain. I don't want it to be too much orange and not enough green. So this will be all that I use for this. All right, so this is my last green going in. All right, gotta hold that down some kind of way. I'm gonna lift these two up here on the end, slide that one under. And like, I think it's more also like the more you do this, the more you get a feel for like where these strings should be. But literally, I don't start off with, I don't even know how many strings this is. I start off with just 4 strings, or 2 strings, I should say. And then I added 3, and then I added 4. And all right, so we are just about done with this. I'm gonna show you how I tighten it, but this is how it looks before you tighten it. All right, so now I have this. And I usually do one more level before. I'll just do it this way, y'all. I usually do one more before I add the key ring, because when you do one more level like this, let me turn it this way. When you do one more level, it kind of helps with securing the key ring to the keychain. All right, so let's do. All right, so I'm crossing over. Gonna pull. Ooh, you need to get you out of that. Over, under. Over, under, under. So it's a whole lot of over, under. Over, under. Y'all can't really see what I'm doing. Hold on. All right, over, under some more. And like I said, you pull these 2 loops out when you're going back through. All you gotta do is just go over and loop it straight through there. Then you lift these two. These two are loose. Lift those two, pull it over. It exposes the next cord that you need. Loop that easily over. Just throw that over while those other two are up. Hold it down with another finger. Pull them back down. Bring these up. And grab your other side. Loop it through. Bring that over. Next color is the white. Looping that through there. Pull that over. We got the white again. Ooh. All right, and then the last pull is coming through there. All right, here we go. Getting ready to do the pull. All right. Making sure it gets pulled. Alright, I always have to make sure none of the little pieces have twisted over. Alright, so now I've got about 3 different alright, looking good. Now I've got about three different levels here. So the next part is adding in the keychain. So you literally take the ring, you put it through here, and then you loop, well, you pull the strings through, and then you're literally gonna braid right over it or weave right over it. So you put it through the center mass, and I'm just gonna hold it down. That's about center. Yeah, that's about center. Let me move this one over here so it's completely in the center. There we go. Yep. Gonna hold it down here. I like to hold it here, and I'm gonna just braid right over it or weave right over it. I'm holding that thing in place, and I'm gonna weave right over that bad boy and watch it gets locked in place. And then it like becomes one with the keychain. And I discovered this method through trial and error, because I used to just do the keychain and then try to add the key ring at the end. And I said, oh no, that doesn't work, because it kept breaking. Like the keychain string would get thinner and thinner, and then it would just snap off. So I'm like, I need to make sure there is enough string between the end of the keychain and the key ring. So I decided to try to like force it in the middle part, and that didn't work. So I said, you know what, I'm just gonna weave it in. I'm just gonna weave it in. And that was the best thing ever. And that's been what I do ever since. I don't know if anyone else does that, but I mean, my life has never been the same ever since doing that. So, as I said before, you're just gonna act like that thing ain't even there. You're just gonna weave right over it. like it's not even there. And you know, as you get through those first stages of this, everything else it becomes a little easier to do. And the good thing about these is like you don't have to finish it all in one day. I never did. I picked it up when I had time, and then when I didn't, I put it back down. These are also pretty cool to like just kind of carry around the house with you if you're moving from one room to the other with the baby, if you have a baby, if you don't. But you can just throw it in your pocket and take it with you. I would sometimes start up a few of them at once, and that way I didn't have to be bothered with trying to do all the cutting and the measuring and all that. And starting, I would just start a bunch of them like how I started this one, and then I wouldn't try to finish it. I would just go and start another one. So I would have a bunch of them like started and laying around, because sometimes you just need to reach for it and get going. Not have to worry about, oh dang, I just finished this one, now I ain't got nothing to do or nothing to keep me busy. So yeah, anywho, weave right over it. And that's pretty much it, you guys. Like, I know this is a long video, so thanks for staying. And I'm going to show you the finished product when I finish doing this keychain. Sometimes I finish these in a day now that I have more free time on my hands, but like I said, sometimes it takes me longer because I'm just not doing it all the time. So the green is there. All right, FAMU. And I might make another FAMU and another one and another one and another one, and it may look a little different. But anywho, that's that. That's how you start a boondoggle.